Good morning, good day, good afternoon, dear members of the Billion Coin. I greet you this afternoon. Today is the 10th of November, 2018. My name is Emmanuel Mtiniswa. I am so excited once again to join the masses out there, to join the forces of the Billion Coin. Coming live all the way from the Republic of South Africa. I would love this afternoon to believe that every member of the Billion Coin is forging ahead towards the massive growth campaigns as well as the redemption period, because this is our redemption period month, November 2018, which is, of course, our second redemption for the year. We are in a season of reaping what we have sown, of gathering back what we have worked for as members of the Billion Coin. Redemption is a period of looking back. You have to look back and check what you have been doing for the past 5 to 6 months ago. And yet today, there are so many developments in the Billion Coin community. And today, I would love us to take a walk again to our admin blog. I have a special item once again to deal with this evening, so that we can as well share some of the most important blogs which are in the admin blog. I chose to look at this topic which says exceptions to the policy limitation of 100 TPC only coming from cookie rewards. This is the topic which was posted on the 4th of November, 2018. As usually, the main subject is the redemption. We are in the redemption period. It says the redemption period begins November the 1st, 2018. We shall be told when the redemption is going to close. For now, we are in the stage of also voting. Members have to vote and actually choose or select a date which they want the redemption to be closed. It might take us a month or two. It will depend on the results coming from admin, according to the votes of the general members of the Billion Code. Now, my dear colleagues, today I want us to go back to this blog. Let us, without waste of time, refer ourselves to this article. It says here, in this article, I will cover why some exceptions will be made to the policy of the maximum amount of TPC coins that can be given to an individual through cookie rewards is 100 lifetime total TPC coins. Then if we can click on this one here before we proceed. It says cookie rewards is not available for institutions. Dr. Gandhi, as we know him, and his famous quotation, it says, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Let me just take you through this one. I am aware of a number of institutions that are beginning to engage TPC, and the cookie rewards was created for the people only. Cookie rewards allows the people a fast pathway to abundance in TPC wealth. Institutions have access to large sums of resources, and those cannot be used to access the cookie rewards. Otherwise, TPC would become the very same thing that doesn't work for the people, where the few have most of everything while the masses suffer. Cookie rewards is the mechanism being used to roll out the distribution phase to 1 billion people from all over the world. At the end of this distribution phase, we will create 1 million billionaires and 1 billion millionaires, giving true empowerment to those that receive it. The people do not have to be wealthy to begin with to use the cookie rewards to become empowered by a change in their socio-economic status to one with a great deal of means to express their creative wills. This means spread throughout humanity will change the world for the better. As we all embrace lifestyles of abundance, we are on a mission to end poverty globally. We appreciate the participation of institutions and their contributions towards that mission. Then there's a policy which says the maximum amount of TPC coins that can be given to an individual through cookie rewards is 100 lifetime total TPC coins. You see, the lifetime is only about 100 TPC through the promotions ongoing, which are ongoing in the cookie rewards. You can accumulate as much as to the amount of 100 TPC. You are allowed to do that. So this is an abundance system. The billion coin will always lead us to accumulate as far as as much as 100 full TPC coins. Right? Let us continue. Before I get into those exceptions, I need to make a few things very clear. TPC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. Let us repeat it. TPC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. When you start the public notices, this becomes more clear. If we have time, ladies and gentlemen, we can as well go and read through the public notice. Yesterday, I promised I'll have time to deliberate with the public notice. Here is the public notice. Each member of the billion coin must read the public notice with understanding. As you can see, it's a long list, but today I'm not going to deliberate on it. This is the public notice. Let us have time and read 3 of 3. How many pages? It's a long list. It's really a long list. Anyway, I want us to continue from here. As you should know, a legal structure has been put in place where all 1 billion TPC coins are in a master trust. 1 billion TPC coins are in a master trust, and a sub-trust is created for every TPC wallet and the coins they hold beneath the master trust. You don't own TPC. Before you get a send button in your TPC wallet, you must pass the send button test, right? Let's look at question 2. Question 2 in our send button reads like this. Because we have a private community, we are entitled to self-regulation with our centralized coin network, and discounters of our coin will have their send buttons turned off by admin. Other abusive behavior within our community could also result in the same thing. If a member's send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform and then they can get their send button turned back on. We have seen that the decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people discounting them, will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss for all users of those coins. A coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate its use centrally. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. We need to understand these clauses as members of the Billion Coin. This is very, very important reading here. And I hope we shall be making head and tail of what is meant by this. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Now let's continue. Are you allowed to transact with our coin at any price of your choosing? The answer is no. Our coin is part of a private community, and we have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Oh yes, you purchase the coin and it's your property to use as you wish at whatever price you want. It says the correct answer is no. Our coin is part of a private community, and you have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Pay close attention to these sentences. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. You see, this is implied within the membership agreement. Once you understand how the sub trust protects you and the whole TPC community, you will get very excited. Let me give you an example of the principle here. The principle is to own nothing and control much. To a poor person, this may not make sense, but rich people already understand this principle. So in this example, there are two dogs, right? A poor man owns a dog and licensed the dog under his own name, right? And the dog bites a wealthy man. The wealthy man sues the poor man in court and wins and garnishes his wages to pay off the judgment. And the poor man becomes poorer because of why? Of ownership. He owns the dog as a poor man, and his dog bites a wealthy man. The wealthy man takes this man to the court, and this poor man was garnished. And as a result, the wealthy man sues the poor man in court and wins and garnishes his wages to pay off the judgment. And the poor man becomes poorer because of what? Of owning something. Now, the second dog belongs to a trust. Mhm. A rich man set up for that dog, and the only thing in that trust is the dog. That dog bites a poor woman, And she thinks she will certainly become rich by suing the rich man. But the case is dismissed because the rich man does not own the dog. You see now the issue of honoring, and there is no money in the trust. The point to this example is to welcome the legal structure of TPC and don't obsess over not owning nothing, of not owning TPC. Don't obsess. Now let's continue. I hope we really understand this principle here. If we don't understand, we need to go back and read and discuss as members as to what is being meant by this principle of a poor dog, of a poor man, and a rich man. The whole story as it is. Now, the problem with the current financial structure is corruption. Corruption has completely taken over, allowing the hoarding of wealth away from the mass majority. It is pure evil that 1% owns 99% of all the wealth in the world living. In the world, living about 50% of the world population in abject poverty. What a waste of human potential. Strip away the means of a man, and that man is likely to lead a meaningless life. Hope you can see how evil it is. This is the reason TPC has been forging a new path away. We are going our own way, centered on truths and not lies. Right? 100 TPC coins is worth a great deal today, and it will become massive once we reach our objective of 1 billion members. We have 3,309,852 members at the moment of writing this article. So that means each TPC coin is worth 3,309,852 grains of gold, or grains of worth of, grains. And when we use this third-party calculator, it shows 8,496,665.90. You can access this one by clicking in there. If you click, that is when you can access this gold grain calculator. You can play with the numbers from this portion there. 200, let me say 225,000. It's worth that amount. 250,000 is worth that amount. So you can play with your figures here. Similarly, 4 grains is $10. 40 grains is 177. You can play around with this. 80 grains. It gives you that. So it's a very good calculator. You can always play with it and make your calculations, whatever. Now, then, when we reach our objective of 1 billion members, those same 100 TPC coins will be worth 1 billion grains. That is 1 billion grains, which is so big, this calculator can't process it. But it is roughly $250 billion. At some point, you can draw the conclusion of having too much abundance, especially when you understand the responsibilities that come with having a stewardship. Yes, the TPC billionaires will be the ones erecting future skyscrapers and establishing institutions of their own. And they will be able to provide liquidity to the TPC millionaires as they align with it, in this grand mission to raise up humanity. But in order for an economy to work, there needs to be some friction between the socio-economic classes and not everyone can be a billionaire. Another thing to consider is that there are exactly 1 billion TPC coins. If it was too easy to get 100 TPC coins, then once 10 million members collected them, the admin wallet would run to zero prematurely, and that would be the end of cookie rewards. And without further incentive to offer, to offer, we most likely would not be able to get to 1 billion members. Frankly, if you manage to hit this limitation, you shouldn't be concerned about getting even more TPC coins. You should be even more excited and work even harder to help the community get to 1 billion members, knowing that the incentive is to mature your coins to $250 billion. That's a massive stewardship. The TPC community will expect much from you. TPC was never meant to be a mission of personal gain only. Good. We do not want to raise all members up. In the end, worst case scenario, you will become a TPC millionaire. A simple transaction of 40 grains worth of KRINGLEs will result in TPC millionaire status. And it doesn't get easier than that to become a millionaire. What I find interesting is the notion that today you could do such a transaction and then immediately go through the redemption process. And out of sheer ignorance, some people think they should be able to cash it all in. Where do these people think that money is coming from? Where are in the we are in the distribution phase, people. Movement in the millions such as that would only be available once a mature, fully blown TPC KRINGLE economy has been established. Think of the distribution phase like a condominium skyscraper being built, and condos are being sold long before they are built. People literally are buying air at first. Maybe the foundation has been built and people are buying condos on the 10th floor already. The 10th floor won't exist for at least a year, and people feel like they are getting a bargain with their purchase, and they are not wrong. So I think I have declared up a lot there before getting into the exceptions of the 100 TPC Kuku rewards limit. All exceptions relate to building up memberships in TPC. Let's look at how a member could even get to this 100 TPC limit in the first place. All right. Broadcasters certainly have the advantage here. Broadcasters get 1 million cookies for every send button meeting they view. They would have to view 10,000 meetings to hit the limit of 100 TPC coins. Yo! That's not likely to ever happen. Really, it's not likely. 10,000 meetings. Sure. That's okay. Let us go ahead. They also get 1 million cookies for every broadcast that they do. And again, it will take 10,000 broadcasts to hit the limit. So meetings and broadcasts are not going to ever reach that limit alone. Broadcasters do get 100 million cookies for every exchange of 40 grains. And it would cost about $10,000 worth of KRINGLEs to hit the limit. I can see that happening in a few cases, but in principle, we don't want to exceed the 100 TPC limit based solely on large purchases. Right? Where am I? All right. That was the main reason I wrote this previous article saying Cookie Rewards is not available for institutions. A basic millionaire member that doesn't broadcast gets 100 million cookies for the same transaction. It would cost them $10 million worth of TPC to hit the limit. So far, they are not the ways members would even hit the limit. These are not the ways members would have even hit the limit. Builders that sponsor 100 new members get 1 billion cookies for each set of 100. So a big builder that signs up 1,000 new members could hit this limit. Unfortunately, scammers have swarmed around the TPC community, taking advantage wherever they can. In the last two redemption periods, all referrals counted towards Cook Rewards, and emails verification was at that all that was required. Have you noticed most of the recruiting services around TPC dried up and went away once membership was based on paid status and not just email verified? Admin has seen a lot of obvious fraud coming from those recruiting services, and the change to paid status corrected that situation. So if you have earned enough cookie rewards that exceeds the 100 TPC limit based on sign-ups and send in a support ticket asking for an exception, they better be really referrals. For now, if you signed up over 1,000 paid referrals and ask for an exception, I can accept that and issue the addition TPC coins as earned, deserving the reward. But if you try to scam admin by claiming all of your email verified non-paid sign-ups are real, then you will need to prove it. Get them to become paid and have them complete their profiles. A true builder doesn't sign up people and immediately abandon them. Let me repeat. A true builder doesn't sign up people and immediately abandon them. Being a sponsor comes with some responsibility to encourage their recruits to fully plug into the TPC community. We are turning people into millionaires and billionaires, for goodness sake. Why wouldn't they want to fully plug in? I'm just going to say it. If you think you deserve to get more than 100 TPC coins for a half-assessed job on your part, then you are crazy. That's the whole truth. On the other hand, if you have carefully read the blog, I have shown you many ways to be a big builder, and you can get thousands of new members in paid status and plugged into the TPC community. And for those kind of builders, I really don't have a limit for you. Send in a support ticket and make your case. If you have clean paid, if you have clean paid referrals and they have completed their profiles, then you fit into the exception and admin will reward you beyond the limitation. Yes, of course. Many of you run large meetings and have set up a good system to sign up thousands of people. Or perhaps you have partnered with a number of merchants and they pass out your business cards. I could go along with that as long as you followed up with each that signed up. Some sales funnels could also produce thousands of paid referrals. So, like I said, all exceptions relate to building up memberships in TPC. We will look at each situation on a case-by-case basis. This article will be required reading if you present a case, though, through the help desk, and we will investigate. Honesty is the best policy. I repeat, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Yes, honesty is the best policy. Dear members, dear Tibetians, here is the read. We have been reading together. I think I'm doing this for the second time. There's a need for us as members of the Billion Con, as leaders of the communities. We are encouraged to make follow-ups on each and every member who has signed up in our teams. Let it be our responsibility to plug them in. Let these people be paid up. It doesn't make sense bringing in people and these people are not paid up. When they pay up their $10 admin fee, one, it shows commitment from their side. Two, it shows that you as a leader, you have taken time to educate this particular person. You have taken time to show love, to display love to this particular person, because you cannot teach a person whom you don't love, whom you don't care for. Let us look after our newly signed people. Let us lead them the right way. Let us get them paid as paid up members of the Billion Coin community. Let us teach them also to teach their own prospects. As we do that, obviously, we get the process flowing. We get the process flowing. That is if we work with transparency. Let us not hide TPC. Let us tell them the advantages of joining into this community. Let us tell them about the ultimate prize of one membership, 1 billion membership people. Let us unfold everything, all the information to them. I also don't see the reason why we can continue signing in people who remain unpaid. Let us try and realign ourselves. Let us try and connect with them, contact them, make contacts with them through either phone calls, through sending messages, through maybe an email. Try and speak to them. Let them pay the $10 admin fee. Let them see the advantage of being a paid up member. For instance, if one is a paid up member, one has got a send button turned off on. One will be able to attend to send button meetings and collect these weekly cookies. We cannot have a bunch of many people coming to our community and ending up as unpaid members. Let us try and work and close this gap. Let us depopulate the number of people who are unpaid, so that this is going to help us. Because according to the system, according to this article, it is highly, highly appreciated if our members are fully paid. $10 admin fee is not so much money on top of the gift. Remember, each and every person who comes to our community gets compensated. That free gift, 25,000 cookies, is a lot of KRINGLEs. It's about 250 KRINGLEs. You multiply 250 KRINGLEs by 8.104779 and check how much it is in the US dollar. Convert that one to your country currency and see how much is the free gift. Let us get our people plugged into the system of the Billion Coin. I so wish that we can follow this article. We can have time again to read this article. Let us not read articles of the Billion Coin once and we forget about them. That's why I love going back to these blogs, because they still have got essential information, important information for us. We can only check ourselves through reading the blogs and going back to the old blogs. And after reading, let us educate. Let us practice what we preach. My dear editors, my dear lovely communities, my dear colleagues, this is what I wanted to contribute to you this evening. I hope someone out there is going to benefit from this broadcast today, including other broadcasters as well, because we are many, and we're also expecting more people to become broadcasters. Join us, join the broadcaster platform so that we become more. And once you become a broadcaster, you will realize that you have actually discovered who you are. You can only discover yourself when you become a broadcaster. God has given us talents. Those talents are deeply buried within us. Let us take initiative and become TPC broadcasters through this TPC YouTube channel. Let us actually bring out what God has given us and utilize it by sharing information. Reading the blog is very simple. Just go to the blog every day, read it out, and share it with the general members of the Billion Code. My dear Tipicians, I love you so much. I love each one of you. I wish everyone well, especially during this more nice moment. The year is ending. We are on our redemption period. Let us prepare for early next year. When we step into a new season of 2019, we will have redeemed our KRINGLEs, and we will be in a situation of cash flowing. Let us deal with starvation and hunger and isolation once and for all by adopting our Billion Coin. Let us work hard. Let us focus. Let us love other members. Let us respect other people. Let us spread out good news of the Billion Coin. Let us echo one word, one vision, one mission every time, because we are building our future. Remember, this is a future for our next generations, for our children. Some of us were already old, we're over 50. And we have got kids who will be inheriting this legacy from us. Let us remember, we are doing this not for us only, we are doing this for the future generations, for those who are still yet to be born. They will be the billionaires in this economy. Me and you is to work hard and build a platform through the Billion Coin strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, I salute everyone. I salute each and every leader. May our Lord keep you in His safe hands always. May our admin be blessed every time. May God keep our admin focusing, leading us towards the abundance lifestyle. Allow me for now to say goodbye. We shall meet again in the next episode. I love you, and I thank you for taking your time in following my broadcast. Thank you. Goodbye till we meet again. Bye bye till we meet again. Thank you.